Welcome everybody to the AI Inner Circle. I am your host, Chris Johnstone, creator of the Loan Officer AI CRM. Well, the whole team does it really. I'm just the I'm just the poorly chosen face that we put on the webinars. Welcome. Happy Friday afternoon. Excellent. Oh, we see some friendly faces here. My man Dave Fox is in the house. Dave, it's been a minute. Good to see you. Patrick, good to see you too. Looking sharp as always. Tammy Fisher, welcome to the call. Great to have you. Awesome. McGee, good to see you, brother. It's been a minute since you and I have connected as well. Good to see you.
Yeah, been a while.
That's awesome. Well, great to have you here. I think we're going to have a ton of fun today.
Good.
Adam, good to see you too. And McGee, how's business? How you been?
I've been good. Just slogging through the last 3 years, it's been a dynamic time for sure.
That it most certainly has. Well, I um I like to think that everybody left in the dugout are the ones that get to go play the playoff game and collect all the points when everybody else is out of the game. I think there's a lot of business coming. It's if you're not signed up for the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, we decided this morning that on Monday I'm going to be helping Frank Garay run the show, talking about specifically how to go get refinances in today's marketplace, which seems like a weird topic, but actually is a fantastic opportunity. So if you're not registered for Breakfast Club on Monday, loanofficerbreakfastclub.com, and that's going to be an interesting conversation as well. So McGee, hopefully there's something for you there to help, kick it back up and onward and upward from here, because definitely we're starting to see kind of across the board. And I have a couple of organizations where I get to see kind of like overall numbers, and overall numbers are up, just like loan officers in general, more deals starting to be processed month over month and all that wonderful stuff. So good things are coming. And our good friend Susan Rosenberg is here. Susan, I have not seen you in a hot minute. Great to see you. Hope you are doing well. Awesome. Um, Erica, great to see you. Chad, good to see you. Steve, good to see you. All right, y'all. So, welcome to the inaugural AI Inner Circle on Fridays. So, what we've done is we've taken the AI Inner Circle and built it with Chris, and we have merged them together to provide even more value for you and kind of like a bigger community of us all coming together as members. Um, and just to provide a more dynamic Q&A section, and also to, well, make it so I don't have to make two classes a week. We only do one class and we focus on actually getting stuff implemented. We got a bunch of feedback that, like, dude, this is great, but it's too much to implement. So let's just focus on one thing a week. So that's why we're here. And it's fantastic to have everybody here. If you're newer to the call, this is going to be the most informal webinar format that you've ever probably experienced, because the whole idea is we get together and we actually build things together using artificial intelligence, automations, software, all designed specifically for the mortgage industry and the mortgage business to help you close more deals using automation and technology. So that's why we're here. There's points, but they don't mean anything. Nobody gets any, and you can't cash them in for anything. So that's fun. And Patrick McCabe, first point goes to you. Thanks for playing. And we're just going to get right into the content today. So if you were on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club this morning, and here, let's get rid of this. We've got a glitchy camera. Just give me a second. There we go. That's kind of weird, but all right. There we go. Okay. So if you were on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club this morning, you saw us create an AI prompt that creates all of your newsletter content for you. And I don't want this to go missed in our community, because this is arguably the strongest tool that you can use to build relationships with your past customer database and with your referral partners, because it allows you to consistently produce value automatically for your past customer database. Easy to send out, easy to follow up. So we'll go over the big idea first, get some feedback, get some questions, and then actually build a newsletter together and start playing around with the AI and show you how to use this to get ranked inside ChatGPT at the same time. Uh, this is a sales webinar. Doesn't feel like it, but we're here to sell the Loan Officer CRM because it helps you implement all this stuff and makes it super easy. So most of you are already members. If you're not, go to loanofficercrm.ai and invest today. You got 30 days to try out the software. And if you're not totally happy as we launch your system for you in the first 30 days, we'll give you 100% of your money back. So no risk. And head on over to loanofficercrm.ai to get the CRM as you see us demo it and work with it today as we build this stuff out. Final piece of the old final item on the agenda. You can unmute your microphone at any time and ask any questions. And we have had a number of people ask for the recording of the call. Totally, you can get a recording. We send it out afterwards, but you have to register for the class in order to get it. And typically, what we do is we take it through AI, it chops it up, edits it for us, and then we'll send that out on Monday morning. So you get the recordings on Mondays after we record them here on Fridays. So even if you can't attend the call live, make sure you register every week so that we can send you out the recording of the class. And we're all one big happy family here. So if it is safe and available to you, make sure you turn your camera on because it just adds to the family friendly feel. So,
Chris, I have a question.
haha, there it is. Thank you for unmuting your microphone and popping in there. How you doing, Susan?
I'm great. So here's my question, and I've always been wondering about this. So I'm glad I'm getting to ask you this question. So I'm not a loan officer, but I work for a top producer.
Fantastic.
And I do, you know that, and I do all his marketing. So
Lucky
how
guy.
do I get him to rank on ChatGPT when I'm the one asking the questions in my ChatGPT? It's not his ChatGPT, or if I'm doing the newsletter, I'm creating it. He's not. How does this work? Because I'm sure I'm not the only, he's not the only person who has someone who does his stuff for him. So
Yes. So sign up for a ChatGPT account using his email address, his work email address. So go to chat.openai.com, sign up for a new account, use his business email address in order to register the account. Upgrade to the $20 plan. If you have another subscription in
I
another
already
account,
did. I mean,
just
I am on the
cancel it.
$20 plan. I'm not sure.
Perfect.
But I
So
have it for me. I can't do it for him. That's another $20, right?
right. So you can cancel yours and just put it on his account. And then at the beginning of every prompt, and in our prompt workbook that we give away at loanofficerbrand.com, Francis, if you could put that in the chat for everybody. So if you go to loanofficerbrand.com and you opt in, you get a series of 7 emails from me. Each email has a different AI prompt in it that helps you with a different aspect of your mortgage business. So it's like the 7 ways to use AI in your mortgage business. And it's like one AI prompt a day for 7 days to help you like implement it. The first prompt that I give you has this huge header section on it that starts the prompt with like, I'm a loan officer in area name, and I'm the best loan officer that helps people with insert in all of the different products that you have. So like reverse, FHA, 15-year, 30-year, reverse, whatever. You just tell AI all the different products that you specialize in, and then you give it all your information. So you would put Marty's name in, right? And then you would put the website, the phone number, the Facebook, Instagram. You put all of the links to all of your real estate that you have on the internet in the top of that prompt. And then you say, we're going to create blog content, media content, all of that stuff underneath the brand because we're the best loan officer in area name. You put that prompt in there, and then you revisit that conversation every time you're going to create content, every time you're going to create social media content. And it's a general open conversation inside ChatGPT. So it's not a custom GPT. It's not an agent. It's it's just the regular ChatGPT that you're using inside your paid account. But every time you revisit that conversation and you use it to create content and you give it feedback, because the very first prompt that you gave it was all of your information. It ties every single piece of content back to you and your brand and gives you authority as the thought leader. So you want to fill that in with all of his information. And every time you go back and use that account to create content, that's how you're building authority. Does that make sense?
If he already has his own chat GPT that he
Mm-hmm.
paid for, can I go on and write on it?
Yes. Yep.
But it has to be on his computer, not mine.
No, no, just the logins. So just make sure you're using his logins. So
Oh,
his email address to log into the account.
okay. So he could still have his and I could still have mine and do stuff too.
You got it.
No,
Right
thank you.
on. Awesome. Susan, great to have you on the call. Great question. All right. And as we go through, Paul, Greg, great to see you both on the call as well. Unmute your microphone, ask any questions that you got, and we are gonna rip. Okay, so in order to get today's prompt, I'm gonna put this in the chat. This is one of those fancy dancy. Oh, it's gonna make me reload. Here we go. This is one of those fancy dancy prompts. And you put a comment on here and it will automatically send it to you. And this is in the chat for you. So go to Facebook, type prompt, and it will automatically send you a direct message with the prompt that we're going to be using today. It'll take you, when you get the direct message from the AI, it's going to take you to this document. This document is going to create blog content for you specific to your local marketplace every single week. So the way that I have this prompt pre-written, you take it, you copy it, and you paste it into ChatGPT. And then every Friday morning at 7 o'clock, ChatGPT is going to go research your marketplace, find all the latest news, and produce a newsletter for you. It's ridiculous. It's like, even if I had, okay, I got to be careful what I say here. But let's say hypothetically, you hired a person in order to write you a weekly blog. How many of you have hired somebody to do something, gave them very clear instructions on what to do, wrote them a document on how to do it, assigned them that task, and then like 2 weeks later, they're just not doing it on time? Anybody had that experience? Yeah, ChatGPT doesn't do that. It literally takes the instructions and does it every single week. So I'm going to walk you through this prompt in detail on how I built it, why it works, and then we're going to copy and paste it, create a newsletter with it, and send it using the Loan Officer CRM. The technical how to do it is fun. It's work, but if we don't understand why we're doing the work, you'll lose momentum and you won't do it consistently. So I just want to share with you before we get into the actual technical how to use this. It's important to understand that creating value and creating consistency in your marketing to your database are probably the two most important things for reoccurring revenue in your business. Customers that come back and do business with you, but it's actually more about getting referrals from your past customer database. So quick poll in the chat here. Where do you get the majority of your business from right now? In the chat, let's see where our community's at right here. So in the chat, just write down, where do you get the majority of your customers from? Donna, realtors. Greg, realtors. Tammy says agents and past clients. Bill, agents. Carrie, past clients. John, referrals. Agents, past client referrals. Realtors, realtor referrals, past clients, referrals. Peter, I love it. Number one, agents. Paul, realtors. Raji, realtors and database. Susan, then past clients. So realtors, then past clients. Okay. So if you're going through this, what are these? Referrals. Every single person on this call gets the majority of their business from referrals. And it's either database or qualified agents, right? So we're in the referral business, aren't we? I didn't see a single TikTok I didn't see a single Instagram reels, right? And we see agents dumping days out of the week into creating like viral social media content. We're in the referral business. Okay. So when we look at referrals, consistency of communication builds trust and it generates more opportunities. Every single time you communicate with your database, you open an opportunity for referrals because people will remember you, remember the person that they spoke to that week, and send you the referral. How many of you have, and again, we'll be gentle with this conversation, but me too, like I'm guilty of doing this too. How many of you have been like, ooh, I haven't really done anything with my database lately. I got to do something. Okay, I'm going to get over the fear. I'm going to do it. I haven't reached out to these people in 6 months. And you send out a marketing message to your database, make a couple of calls, and you pick up a deal. And it's like, oh, wow. I marketed to my database and I got a deal. How many of you have had that experience of just like reaching out to the database and getting a deal as soon as you did it? Mark, yes. Sean, yes. Tammy, yes. Donna, yes. Me, right? So, Peter, yes. So, what if that just happened consistently every week? Is it reasonable to assume that you would get far more referrals from your database if you were just simply in front of them every week? Because let's just say you've got 100 people in your past customer database. In any given week, you've got a very small segment of that database that has a referral for you. Well, every week, you're churning that little segment of the database into referrals. The 90% that don't have a referral for you, that's cool. You just built value, stayed in front of them. When you hit them with the next message, potentially one of the 90% converts. It's not a game of just, we're going to market to our database and get the referrals. It's we're going to build a relationship so that we get as many referrals as possible over time, because that's the true opportunity in our past customer database. It's not refis and it's not getting those people as repeat business, even though that's a benefit. The actual real driver of business is the referrals that you get from the database of past clients. And that's why we're building these newsletters. Then stack the exact same conversation on top of qualified agents. It's very, 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 four varies. It's incredibly rare that you will call a qualified agent on the first call and they're like, oh, Donna, thank you for a loan officer called me. That's amazing. I've never had that happen before. Hey, I got a deal. Would you like to work it? Has anybody here had that experience? Not me. And I've called hundreds, thousands of agents. And so, but that's what most loan officers expect. That's what happened. I got a list of qualified agents. I called them. Nobody sent me a deal. It's like, that's what everybody expects to happen. But then when you say it, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, it's realistic that that's not going to happen. What's realistic is if you put those people in a funnel and you have all the qualified agents in your local marketplace and they're hearing from you consistently with value over a long enough period of time, they're going to have a deal that's got hair on it that their current lender doesn't want to touch or that can't process properly, or I shouldn't say properly, but like they're looking for another option on that deal, which obviously isn't the deals that we want, but it's how we start the relationship, right? Or there's a fire, or the lender drops the ball, or their lender's not communicating and you are. We have to stay in front of these qualified agents for long enough for there to be a pain point in their deal so that they're open to reaching out to you and giving you an opportunity with the transaction. And we do that through value and done over time. Does that make sense? So that's why this newsletter is so important. It's not like we're going to send it out the first time and all of a sudden it's just going to magically rain deals down. It's so that we have an automated way to stay in front of these people long enough so that we get the opportunity to earn the business.
Chris,
that's why we're doing the newsletter. Yes, Susan.
what is your best advice? Because as mortgage people, we are not confined to just this little area the way realtors are. So it's not just the neighborhood that we work in. I work in the entire, like we're in New Jersey, we work in the entire state, and we also are in a few other states. So the majority of our clients, yes, are in New Jersey, but they're not in one, maybe total, they're all over. So how do we do this so it's still, should we do a newsletter that's in New Jersey? That's too far. I'm not sure what's the best way to do that.
So great question. And that's the difference between being a community leader and being a brand. So a brand can just talk about mortgages in general, real estate in general, financial advice in general. And you can change this prompt and make it so that your newsletter content is for everybody. You can make it national about what's happening in like the national real estate market. Knowing that the more specific you have the conversation, the greater your conversion is going to be, right? So, Susan, if I was in your shoes, I'm a huge advocate of go deep, not wide.
Okay.
And so what I would do is I would say, okay, I've got these 5 markets and I've got all of these top producers in these 5 markets. And I'm not going to expand my business or my reach or my focus or my time outside of these 5 markets until I have 3 qualified agents in each market sending me the majority of their referrals. And only once I've achieved that goal am I going to expand out. So then it makes it tangible of, okay, I need 5 newsletters. I need a newsletter for each of these individual marketplaces that I'm going after. And that's what I'm going to do. Once I've done that, and 5 might be too many, you might start with 3. But the way that I do every single project is I start with 1. So I would start with 1 market, 1 list of realtors, and say, I'm going to take this and I'm only going to work this list until I've got 3 qualified agents sending me the majority of their business. And I'm going to take the exact same process that I do every week and I'm going to duplicate that in another market. So, say you're following the daily success plan, you're calling qualified agents on Mondays. I would do that on Mondays until I've got my result from that marketplace. And then I would just stack another hour of calls on top of it with a new qualified agent list, with a new newsletter in a new market, and just bolt it out one at a time until I reach the goal. Does that
I
make
was,
sense?
yes, but I was more referring to my clients, my past database of clients, not realtors. I,
That's difficult unless you know exactly where they're located. Like if you're doing a national brand, I
it's
would
not a
make,
national brand. It's not, we're not, we focus mostly on New Jersey, let's say.
yeah,
So I'm okay with that, but should I not send it to people who live in, if I'm talking about a particular county in New Jersey, this is what's going on in this county, should I not send it to anyone who doesn't live in that county?
correct. Yeah, I would put them out of that database marketing campaign and do like a general newsletter for them.
Mhm.
Or if you've got them in a specific location. Or you could just take it. I mean, your database is large enough that you could just turn this into a more generic newsletter that's just keeping up on regular trends. And again, the whole reason that we're sending the newsletter is so that we can follow up with a phone call. And it's like, hey, the reason for my call is, did you get the cool thing that I sent you? Yes or no? And then we're asking for referrals. So I don't, there's true value in it and you will get results, hopefully, from just sending out the email. But really, it is a Trojan horse so that we can make the phone calls, get over call reluctance, and have a real reason to call these people that makes sense. So that
And
when you call them and it's like, did you get the newsletter? Yes, I did.
you're doing a different newsletter for clients versus realtors, or is it the same one?
Same one.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Was that helpful?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So here is our prompt. And there is a shameless plug for the CRM at the top. Not a loan officer AI CRM member yet. Mind blown. I was looking for the gasp emoji, but I don't think there is a gasp emoji. So it was supposed to read, not a loan officer AI CRM member yet. So there you go. You get the live copy there. So, anyways, benefits as to why you should try the 30-day money back guarantee on the CRM. And then we get into the prompt. So, creating your newsletter. So, right down here, you can see I've got insert city or state or insert neighboring areas. We may as well just take this out because we really just want to have a primary market. And again, Susan, you could do an entire state here. And it will just pick different information about different parts of the state in each newsletter. And it's still relevant because it's going to do, here's the average price of a home in the state. Here's the average days on market for homes in the state. Still information that people will open up and see every single month. So you insert your city and state here. So the first thing that you do when you're taking this is you go file, then you make a copy. That will make a copy of this in your own Google Docs. So then it's yours. You can have it for free. Again, this is the majority of the people here on the call are members. So there's a members resource for you. And you just hit file, make a copy, and then it's yours. So you can then go in, edit the document, put your information in here, never have to change it again. The prompt is, you're a skilled newsletter writer, market researcher, and content creator specializing in real estate mortgages and local community engagement. This is called giving it a role. It's the first thing that you need to do when you're talking to AI and you're having a conversation where you're going to prompt it multiple times in order to get an output. The very first thing is you give it a role so that it understands, okay, I'm not generalized artificial intelligence. I'm artificial intelligence that specializes in this particular task. This is what I'm doing here. And what it does is it narrows in the focus of the artificial intelligence and gets you a better output. And it's able to go out and reference its information and its knowledge specific to that topic. So as soon as I tell it it's a newsletter writer, it's actually going to reference information on how to properly write a newsletter, how to structure a newsletter, engaging topics for a newsletter, and not just general AI about writing, but specialized information on writing a newsletter and researching a market and creating content. So it specializes in each of these marketplaces or specialized skills, which makes the output of what the AI gives you far better as you're communicating with it, because it's always acting as this type of person, really. Then we give it a task. Your task is to research and write a weekly real estate and mortgage newsletter designed for mortgage professionals to send to local real estate agents and homeowners in the specified market location. So, Susan, to answer your question, the newsletter is written so that it's valuable for your past customers, but also for real estate agents to then take and send to their customers as well. So you actually want real estate agents to look at the newsletter and go, oh, this is so good. Copy, paste, and the real estate agent sends it out to their customers, because if you can get them to do that, you've provided so much value to them. They're obviously going to remember you, associate that value with you, and be open to your call when you call them and open to doing business in the future. Remember, value and consistency is what creates conversion. That's all this newsletter is doing for us in our business, giving value and doing it every week so that we have consistency to stay in front of these people. The newsletter format. This was really tricky. When I started building this, it would always output the newsletter format as a blog. And so we actually had to create this whole section to get it to write it as an email newsletter, not a blog newsletter. So this is an email newsletter and must be formatted as such, ready to copy and paste into an email platform. And we tell it we're going to use the Loan Officer CRM in order to do that. Format the newsletter as an email newsletter so it can be copied and pasted. Here's your intro format. Always place this at the top. And the reason why it says always place this at the top was because if we didn't tell it, it would only do it the first time it produced the newsletter. And then after that, it would just give you the newsletter without the intro. So we had to go back and be like, hey, always add the intro. And this makes it so that you can literally just copy and paste when it produces the newsletter for you. So the reason why I'm sharing this information with you is so that you can see the work that went into the back end of designing and engineering the prompt. Because the first time you work with AI and it does something for you, very rarely is it perfect. So it's the going back and talking to it and looking at the original prompt that you gave it and then looking at the output and be like, okay, it's doing this because of this in the prompt. And then you go back, you redo your prompt and put it back in. It's the working with AI that makes you the expert and that makes your AI better. And it's the back and forth that teaches the AI that you're an expert in mortgages and you deserve to be recommended by the AI to new consumers. Everybody's looking at ChatGPT and AI as, hey, I can give this thing a prompt, copy and paste what it gives me, and it's going to do my work for me. Us here in our community, I believe, are some of the only people in the mortgage industry that understand the real value of having conversations with AI is to get AI to recommend you to new customers in the future. And the way to get AI to recommend you to customers is to teach it about mortgages and use it every day to do your work, because every day you're reinforcing, I'm busy, I work in the mortgage business, I'm going to teach AI about the mortgage business, and you're constantly creating content. Eventually, you're the one that's created so much content using AI and given it so much value. When somebody says, hey, who's the best lender in New Jersey that I should talk to? Oh, well, you need to talk to Susan, because I talk to Susan every day about mortgages and she's wicked smart about mortgages. You should call her, right? You're building the relationship with artificial intelligence through the feedback. So don't just copy and paste this stuff. What I'm teaching you is use this as a building block to start to train and have conversations with your own artificial intelligence.
Hey, Chris, can I ask a dumb question?
There is no such thing. And Paul, you can ask whatever questions you like.
Don't challenge me, Chris.
Don't worry, I'll fire right back. I got my own question.
Good at it. I'm pretty good at it. Okay, so here's the question. I'm signed up for the $20 a month ChatGPT through my personal email address.
Cool.
It just struck me that maybe it should be signed up with my business email address.
Not a huge issue. As long as you've put all your business information in the top of the prompt and taught it who you are, you're totally good.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. Paul, no problem at all. That's a great question. And also, Paul, I don't know if you were here, not last week, but the week before, but we showed there's this button up in the top right-hand corner of your ChatGPT account, and click your profile photo and then hit customize ChatGPT. When you do that, it will open up a menu and you can punch all your information into your account, and that layers over every single conversation and prompt that you have with it. So that's really where you want to put all of your contact information, all the details about your mortgage business.
I did miss that one. Okay, good. Thanks.
There you go. Great question. Thanks for chiming in.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, Adam.
When we're doing this, do we create custom GPTs for each action? Like for this one, we're going to create a newsletter. Is this like a custom GPT, or is this just a new chat every time? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, another brilliant question. Don't create a custom GPT for this.
Okay.
You want this to be a regular conversation with ChatGPT. The reason why is, see this share button up here in the top right-hand corner?
Mm-hmm.
You click that share button after you've produced all of this content. So every time you get a new newsletter produced and you go back and you say, hey, don't say it like this, say it like this. Hey, change my newsletter to include this and don't do this. And then it spits out the final newsletter that you're going to email out. But you've worked inside ChatGPT to teach it and give it all that feedback. You click that share button and then see how it comes up with this create link,
mm-hmm.
where you can send that to anybody. You click that, and then this little box shows up that says, make this chat discoverable, allows it to be shown in web searches. You select that box and you just index your whole conversation with ChatGPT for all the search engines. So all the work you're doing with AI now reinforces your brand on Google, Bing, Yahoo, and inside the algorithms with ChatGPT. And I have a very sneaking suspicion, a very large sneaking suspicion, that almost all of the other AI companies rip from the database that OpenAI uses and publishes, or doesn't even publish, or gets. Okay, I digress. All of the other AI companies, it's like if you rank your website on Google, it's pretty much certain that you're going to rank on Yahoo and Bing within the next 30 to 60 days. Right? You just focus on Google because it's the 900-pound gorilla. In my opinion, ChatGPT is the 900-pound gorilla. And if you get recommended by ChatGPT, it's not long after that the other AIs are going to start recommending your business. So just index it all here. This is where I recommend doing the work in order to do that.
So always have a conversation in my chat and index it every time I have like a conversation every day. Just go through and hit share and click that button so then it indexes properly.
That's right. You got it.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Only on information that's related to the business. Like if you're going to like fix your dishwasher and use your ChatGPT account, don't index that conversation. Only stuff that relates to your mortgage business.
Right.
Okay. Where did you show us where to index it real quick?
Yeah, no problem, Mark. And good to see you on the call. So share and then update link.
Okay.
And then it pops up after you click that.
Got it. All right. Thanks.
Awesome. No problem at all. Right on.
Got one more quick question here. Coming back to, I think it was Susan who's brought this up about this multiple areas. I've been trying to brand my team as your local lender in Chicago, Ann Arbor, Toledo, and Detroit. Like very focused in the cities we're in.
Yep.
Could I potentially just adjust the prompt a little bit to do, one event from each town? Or is that going to work against me?
That's a great question.
Like here's our news. Go ahead.
It's not going to work against you as far as the artificial intelligence and the search engine ranking components of it. My thoughts are around the engagement of the users that you're actually sending the content to. Because ultimately, the main result that we want from this thing is a real estate agent that gets it every week, that is getting your emails and then getting your phone calls. And they're like, oh, yeah, I read that newsletter. It was really good. I'm willing to take a call from Greg. Where I think if you're going that broad, they're like, delete. You know what I mean? Like I'm in Detroit. I don't want to learn about XYZ market.
Chicago. Right.
So I would have either each of your staff independently responsible for this, or I would have 4 different conversations going inside my ChatGPT.
One each city.
One for each city.
Mm-hmm. One more quick follow question. When I did a weekly newsletter for a while that I got a lot of great feedback on, and the less I wrote, the better. It was like if I had one topic with a short video explaining the topic, and then I shared it as a blog as well. That's when I seem to get the most traction. I guess there's a potential of even adjusting this and tightening it up if I wanted to, right? Like my one tip of the week.
Yep, 100%.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Knowing that, again, the reason is to provide value.
Right.
And to consistently do it.
That exists.
Right?
That's the issue.
It's the consistency, which I don't want to get too far off track, but I'm going to take you down to the bottom of the prompt. And I don't want to miss this point, but right here, look at this. Set a task to produce the full e-newsletter text ready to copy and paste every Friday morning at 6:30 a.m. Like ChatGPT will literally produce it and notify you via email. And if you've got the app on your phone, it'll send you a push notification. So, 6:30 Friday morning, ding, your newsletter is ready to go.
Right.
Loan Officer CRM, it's literally like copy it from the conversation, paste it into the template, select the tag of the contacts, and hit send. And you're done.
Yeah.
This has taken something that
it's taking hours.
Yeah. Like it used to take me a half a day to do our monthly newsletter. Now somebody else can do it, and it takes them half the time that it took me to originally do it, and it's better. So, yep.
Is there a way to put stuff in folders in ChatGPT, like even the newsletters, so that you can see them all together, like which you sent, each one you sent, or when you're talking about a specific topic, you can have it all in one folder, so it's not all over the place.
So great question. The answer is yes, there are folders. They call them projects, and you can organize things under them, but you don't want to do that for this.
Oh.
Simply because when you can only, the short answer is the strategy doesn't work to index the content when the content is produced within a folder. which sounds weird, but I don't know why ChatGPT built it that way, but that's the way that it is right now. Hopefully they change it in the future. But right now, what I do is, I mean, I'm 50 conversations deep every single day with ChatGPT at this point right now. So this little search chats icon here is like the most handy tool ever, because it, you know how Google, you have to get the exact word right, that's like in the title of the document in order for you to be able to find the right Google Doc or the right spreadsheet or the right whatever. Like I can search chats and be like, I had a conversation with you a while back. It was like 3 months and it was about this. And it'll pull up the chat exactly what I'm looking for. So it's not even keyword based anymore. You can just talk to it and it'll find the conversation that you had with it. So the search feature is just absolutely amazing.
Good.
Not a chat GPT sales guy, but the tool's great. Okay. Susan, does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
got a quick question.
Yes.
Yeah, so when we're going to have those, let's say those 5 marketplaces, so we're issuing a tag for the realtors or the referral partners that belong in that area or region that we want to get that. So, okay, so, but another question, how many tags can you give a specific person?
Great question. Unlimited. There's no limit to the amount of tags that you can put on a contact inside the CRM.
Okay, so we can have a realtor, we can say brunette realtors, we can have whatever realtors that we want, and you can have these reference or locate, but they don't have to have all the tags, just certain tags.
Correct. Yep. That's right.
Okay.
And
Got
so you can do a search inside the CRM to be like, find somebody who has all of these tags specifically, or you can do a search that says find somebody who has any of all of these tags. So, and it'll pull up all of them. So you could pick all of your realtors at once or just your Denver realtors inside the CRM. It's super easy to pull up the list by using tags. Donna, did that answer the question?
It did. So let's say you do a lot of physician loans or something like that. You can have a tag for doctors or whatever. So
Yep.
you say, hey, I want to put out this new program or whatever. Okay, thanks.
Yep, no problem at all. And tags are just a conversion maker, because the more specific you can get your message to your audience, the greater your open rates are, the greater your response rates are, and the greater value you can provide to that particular audience by producing specific content. But you're just lumping everybody into database. You just have to send it to everybody and hope for the best. So tags are super important. All right. And again, everybody just like open mic. This is amazing. I hope everybody's finding this is valuable, as I hope everybody is.
Hey, Chris,
Just
I got a
unmute your
question.
microphone. My man.
So, should we do this in Gemini also, or just do it in ChatGPT?
Just chat GPT. Yep.
Okay.
You don't have to go crazy with it. Yeah. The more and more I test, the more that I'm finding chat GPT is kind of the baseline for what we're doing for sure. Okay.
I've got a follow-up question on something that Greg brought up. And he was talking about multiple markets. I wonder, can you target it to a state, an entire state?
Yep,
Or
absolutely.
is that same answer like it's not specific enough?
So you can totally target it to an entire state. That's no problem at all. Just the more specific you get, likely the higher your open rate is. Because if somebody sends me so we'll take it totally out of the country just to understand the context of the answer. It's like if somebody sends me a Costa Rican real estate newsletter, I'm like, meh, whatever. Like one of those houses might be 10 hours away from where I'm interested in. But if somebody sends me a Tamarindo real estate update, I'll open that email because that's specifically where I'm interested in real estate. So the smaller you can get that target market, or the more specific you can be with your database and breaking down your database, the higher your open rates will be and the better engagement you'll get from your database.
Okay.
Chris, I'm sorry, excuse me. I have a question. So in the prompt where you were saying at the bottom that it'll recreate the new newsletter ready to go for you at a particular time, is ChatGPT going through, like, for example, when it comes to the what's happening portion in that area, it's going to do a search, a new search of what's happening. I don't have to do the search and say, hey, put this in, or, okay, so I'll let you answer that. And then my part B to that is, after I'm asking this, if I want to include specific things, can I say, hey, I want you to put this in as part of the what's happenings?
Totally. Yes, you can. So to answer the first part of the question, every time the prompt runs, it follows the instructions. So every week it brings back brand new data for that particular market, that particular week. So every week it's up to the minute news that you're delivering to people, because it's literally been curated that morning that you're going to send the email. So there's a, what's happening around town section. It's literally got, here's what's happening this weekend.
Okay.
And it's pulled all that information. The second is, if you want it to reference specific websites to pull information from, you can tell it that in the prompt.
Okay.
And then also know that if you want to customize sections of the newsletter, you can totally do that after you get like the bulk of the newsletter content. Then you can just add your own little section to it if you want.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
And no problem. Because Pamela, that's a great question, because one of the ways that I would use this newsletter strategy if I was using this as a networking tool in my local marketplace is I added a little, I don't want to call it a bonus, but this section right here, I defaulted it to restaurants of the week, kind of for our general audience, but us here on this call, I actually put this section here so that you could approach other local businesses and feature them there because you want a referral relationship from them.
Right.
When I was actually crushing loans, one of our incredible referral sources was a beauty salon, because she had a self-employed mortgage, couldn't get done anywhere else. My dad helped her out, and she told everybody about our mortgage business.
Right, because she has people in the chair that are captive to her for 30 minutes to 2 hours.
And they're all talking about what's going on in their life. Hey, we're thinking about buying real estate. It was just amazing. So in this local business spotlight section, I would sponsor the hair salon and call the hair salon and be like, hey, look, what information do you want me to put in your newsletter? I'm going to send you out my newsletter. Oh, wow, you're going to feature us in the newsletter. That's amazing. Yeah, I got like 300 people this is going to go out to. We're going to post it on our social media. Then all of a sudden they're sharing it on social media. But think insurance agents, financial planners, HVAC contractors, decks, renovation specialists, like solar companies. All of these people are meeting your clients all day long.
Right.
So the local business spotlight is actually a section in your newsletter where you can call out to those people, build relationships by featuring them in your newsletter.
Great.
Cool.
Awesome.
Question on this prompts and everything you have written out. Are you making that available for us as a guide example, or do we need to, is that accessible somewhere, or we need to create our own? I missed the first part, so I don't know if you covered that.
So Francis, can you post the link in the chat again? And so Kevin, you could just click the Google Docs link in the chat, and this document is here free. You can literally like copy and paste it.
Outstanding. And then the chat GTP, using our own personal account, go in there, teach it, train it, do this, and it'll all work out. Can we do, say, multiple newsletters to different markets and teach it to do that? And somehow, how would you do, say, multiple newsletters in ChatGPT?
So great question. So I would do one first to get my workflow down. Then inside ChatGPT, every time you start a new chat, it comes into this menu bar on the left-hand side with chats. So I would name them. So you can click these three dots beside, and you can name them whatever you want. So you can keyword these so that you can find them later if you really want to. So you can rename your chats and you just rename them by the marketplace of the newsletter that you're doing. So, one's for Tampa, one's for St. Pete's, one's for, insert in XYZ market. And then that conversation that you're having with ChatGPT is all about that market and that topic. So at the very, very top, you've customized the newsletter prompt for that market. And then every time you want to build that newsletter for that market, you go back to that chat in order to build it. Cool. Awesome.
Chris, what subject headline are you recommending we use to get the best open rates?
Haha. Okay. So, area name, real estate news.
Okay.
Reason being, your subject line in your email serves like a whole bunch of purposes. The first is just to get people to open it. But the second purpose is actually to qualify the people that are going to read the message. Because it's like, who is this for? Because people are inundated with emails. You don't want them to open every email. You want them to open the email when they're ready to convert or they're ready for the message that's inside. So the real estate update, well, if they are not interested in real estate in that particular marketplace, like let's say they moved out of state and it's just like they're just not interested anymore. Well, you don't want that person reading your emails anyway, right? So A, you want it to compel them, but B, you want it to qualify the person that's going to read the message and then potentially refer you. Another great subject line, if you want to switch it up, is just put the first name field in there and just have the subject line as their first name. That always gets really good open rates. But you learn every week, you get a split test, right? And so you can literally get a feel for what works, what doesn't, and you learn over time. All right. Great questions, everybody. This is fantastic. Is everybody finding this valuable? Let me know in the chat if you're having a good time. Fire me a yes in the chat. We're still full attendance. So,
Chris, I got a question for you.
Yes.
So I want to target Central Valley in California,
okay,
which there's multiple counties. So in modifying this, could I say like Central Valley and then name the counties that I want included so the chat will kind of do that? Have you created, so in that area, have you ever done something like creating a heat map for real estate price movements in a specific area?
So the crazy thing is, so the most recent update that ChatGPT did to ChatGPT images allows it to understand the context of data within an image. And now you can create bar charts, line graphs, all of that. So you can get it to do you have to get it to do the research first and then say, okay, of all the information that you found about this county and this county and this county and this county, display it for me in a spreadsheet chart so it makes sense by market. And so it organizes the data for you. So you have to tell it to organize the data in a structured format. And then you can say, create me a heat map based on that data. And then it will create the image. Double check it, because when I was first playing with it, a lot of the times it was like spotlighting the heat maps wrong. So it wasn't actually analyzing the data properly. Seems to have gotten much, much better at that. But it's kind of like a stepped process through your prompts to get it to do that.
So in aggregating the data, would you tell it to aggregate it by zip code or?
You play around with it. The best way to know how it's going to perform is to just play with it. And again, the more that you're working with it, the more authority that you're building with the AI. So that would be something that I would test out by market.
Have you tested this kind of thing with Gemini and ChatGPT and others?
Yes. Yeah. Me and my team, we've got a couple of team members that are just like super heavy and really advanced AI users. And so we're always playing with different tools. And by far, for this type of work, ChatGPT is, in my opinion, the greatest tool and resource for this type of work. Newsletters, communication, email writing, text messages, even the voice So inside the loan officer CRM, we have a voice that picks up your phone. It's powered by the ChatGPT tools or the OpenAI tools in the background, because we believe it's the best at having conversations as well. If you want to code and you want to program, or you're looking at data analysis, sort of that sort of stuff, there's other AIs that are better at that. But conversationally, ChatGPT, I believe, is the leader.
Chris, can
Do
you
you have
show
your
us?
plan of classes, one to kind of go a little deeper on the voice AI? Because I'm using it some, but I'd like to do better with it.
That is a great topic suggestion, Francis. If you could make sure that we put that on the content calendar, we'll do a whole session on AI voice, because it's just fascinating, and there's a lot to learn there. So, Steve, thank you for the awesome
Yeah, I'd
topics.
love to get deeper on that. That would be awesome.
All right, cool. We got a
Excited.
Friday
Thank you,
coming
Chris.
for you.
Hey, Chris,
Wonderful.
can you explain once we have this done, how do we take that next step in taking this from ChatGPT and then uploading it into the LOCRM in order to actually go out? Because now I'm like, a lot of times you'll give me these prompts, I have it all done. I'm like, okay, what do I do with it? How do I shift it from here into the LO system? And that's where I miss it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's do that right now, because we are coming up on time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the market here. So I'm in the document. So your copy and paste document that you've got here, just hit File, make a copy. This is yours. The copy you can edit. So let's just say this is Dallas, Texas, right? So we'll go after Dallas, Texas. And now we're just going to take this.
Yep.
And go all the way down to the bottom where it says output.
Yep.
So I've highlighted all the way to where prompt 2 starts. So I've just hit copy. I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. I'm going to start a new chat. So you can see this. This is just like from the very beginning. And I'm just going to paste that into ChatGPT and hit enter.
Right.
Do. All right, so now it's figuring it out. Perfect. So if you'd like, I can now draft your first issue using this format. Would you like me to generate it for this week? Yes. So it's now gone out and done all the research, just searched the internet, referenced 34 different websites in order to put together this newsletter. Hi, first name. We're back with another local market update for you. Enjoy. Make sure you send us a text at, and then that would insert your phone number if you put that into the prompt, right? When you run into friends who are looking to buy, sell, or refinance. Local real estate market, Dallas, Texas. Median home price, $469,250. Average days on market, 38 days, up from 30. Homes sold, 998 homes sold in May. And new active inventory. Here's what this means. Mortgage financing, local news around town. Look at this. The Dallas Arboretum, Saturday and Sunday, July 12th and 13th. Guided walks, house tours, yogas, and seated tea. Doesn't that sound nice? Oh, nice. I should take Robin for tea. We got 2 young kids. She'd think I'm crazy. You want to go for tea?
Go to the Arboretum. It is lovely. It is lovely.
High noon. I would love a high noon tea. Okay. Anyways, so right down here, we've got the sources. And look at this call to action we've got at the bottom. Community connections. Our business is built on your referrals. If you, your friends, family, or coworkers are actively looking to buy, sell, or refinance, simply shoot us a text. We'll take care of them. Also, if you need help around the house, plumber, electrician, HVAC, etc., or a connection to a trusted local professional for insurance, financial planning, taxes, or accounting, please feel free to reach out. Our network is your network. Ooh. That is a strong call to action that goes at the bottom of every single newsletter that you produce with this prompt. So all I've done is I've taken that and I've copied it. So I just took that directly from ChatGPT, and now I'm inside the email template builder inside the CRM. So this one I pre-did. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this from scratch. So inside the loan officer CRM, you go to the marketing tab on the left-hand side. emails up at the top,
Got it.
hit new. Now, the way that I do this is I created an email marketing template, which has our logo at the top, footer at the bottom, call to action with the PS at the bottom, like our structured email so that it looks good with all the branding. You go in, you create this template once, you save it, and then you just click on email marketing templates, pick your template, and paste the content. So you just create a newsletter template one time, and then you're just copying and pasting into the template. This one I'm going to create from scratch, and I'm going to use the design editor in order to do it. So I'm going to hit select. It's going to pull up the design editor, which is very easy to use. So on the left-hand side, if you want your logo at the top, grab an image from the left, drop it at the top, upload your image, voila, your image is at the top, right? If you want your footer down at the bottom, you could grab another image, put it down at the bottom. That's your email footer at the bottom. You can make these look beautiful, like a truly, like this is an e-newsletter. This is how they do it. This is the tool that they use to send out email newsletters. Now you'll notice it says start from scratch up here. So I've just clicked on that box, space down, and hit paste. And here is our email newsletter. So this didn't format correctly. So I'm just going to type ta-da, hi, and then first name, and then delete this, and I'll name this, the Chris Johnstone Dallas market update or whatever. Put your title up at the top, then you got your logo, your upload, and then you can clean this up. And again, you can highlight the whole thing, and up here you can change the font. So if you want the font to be bigger, you can go through, space it out so it looks better. And again, once you do this once, you can go back to ChatGPT and say, format the next newsletter using this spacing. And then it will space it correctly the next time that it produces the content. So I've got all the content and the newsletter done. You just want to go through, pre-read it, fix it, make sure it fits. And then you hit send or schedule up here in the top right-hand corner. And then this is where you select your tags. So you put in your email, where you want it sent from, the name, which is your name, the subject line. Then you choose your contacts. And then up in the top right-hand corner, you hit send. And your email newsletter is done.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Right on, right on.
Can I say a word of caution for all of us mortgage people here, at least in the
Please do.
United States? Anything that includes anything like that includes rates, we have to, at least in my company, we have to go through compliance for that. So how do you send out a newsletter like on a dime when you have to send it to the compliance and it's not like you get it back that day? That's my question.
Okay, Chris just will be right back in one moment.
I can answer that. I got a suggestion for
Okay.
around that. There's consumer website or your website, Mortgage News Daily. It's free. And you just reference the rates on there and put the link in there for that. And it's pretty reasonable. And they have all the disclosure in there. And you don't really have to quote a rate. You're just more or less referencing it.
And I think that's what Chris already has, because if you look at the ChatGPT, if you look at sources, it'll show where all the sources of the data came from. So you're not actually saying the rate, that the rate is coming from the sources, if I'm right, Chris. And so I think that would kind of keep you away from any kind of compliance issue, because you're not quoting the rate, you're just quoting the source that's quoting the rate. Is that correct?
I am not a compliance expert, nor do I play one on TV. So I would say consult your compliance department. I believe the prompt has a range in it. So give us a rate range in it. And then I would put a heavy, like in the footer of the email newsletter that you're sending out, I would have a huge disclaimer about, and I would run that through your compliance department of like, these are not rate quotes. These are not offers for credit. I would include, go to your compliance department and get a nice heavy compliance statement that goes at the bottom of the emails to include on each of them. And then if you're not comfortable with having rates in the emails, just take that part out, right? You can take that out of the prompt. I don't think anybody is going to not read your newsletter just because it doesn't have the rates in it. The average days on market and the average home price is typically what people are really interested in when they're reading the newsletter. So I wouldn't get tripped up on the rates. I mean, take them out, and I don't think it would negatively affect your newsletter at all.
How often would you send the newsletter to past clients, one, and referral partners, the other? What would you recommend so you don't get canceled?
So this is really funny. There's a big study that was done on email deliverability, and the best open rates are on emails that are sent every single day. So the more frequently you send messages to people, the lower your opt-out is. So which is counterintuitive. You would think, hey, if I send more than one a month, I'm going to tick people off. They're going to hear from me too often. It's actually the other way around. It's like, oh, there's a rando email from somebody I don't remember. Unsubscribe, right? The more often you can be in their inbox, the better it actually is. So I set this as a weekly newsletter. Absolutely 100%. You should be in front of your qualified agents once a week. You should be in front of your qualified agent list that you're looking to network with once a week. If you want to dial back your database marketing to once a month, totally fine. Understanding that there may be a deal that slips through the cracks in the 3 weeks that you're not communicating with those people and they don't remember your name, right? And that sounds harsh. I didn't mean it to come out and sound harsh like that, but that's the world we live in. Like, who remembers what they ate for breakfast 3 days ago? I don't. you know what I mean? Like, that's just the world we live in. And so the more often we stay in front of our customers, the higher the likelihood that when they're at church or they're at the fundraiser, the baseball game, or whatever it is, it's like, oh, Adam Zeman. Yeah. Or they're like, hey, I got a referral for you. How many of you reference your phone? And it's like, oh, that person, they sent me an email the other day. Oh, yes, John. You got to call John. But if you're not close to the top of the inbox, it's hard for them to reference your information. So my suggestion is, as often as you can, without falling off the daily success plan, and making your phone calls. Phone calls come first, content marketing comes second. Kevin, did that help? My man. Okay, cool. I know we're over time, and I apologize. I have one last thing that I wanted to share with you. When you go to the prompt and you go down to the bottom of the document, prompt number 2 creates the email that goes to your past customer database. So you can literally copy and paste this email content to go to your database. This third one is the email to your real estate partners. So you can literally take this prompt and it will generate an email that sends out to the realtors. The realtor content actually encourages them to swipe and deploy the actual content. So I hope that helps. Valuable this week. If you are not a member of the Loan Officer CRM, loanofficercrm.ai, sign up for a free trial, try it out for 30 days. It's $297 up front for the setup fee, and then $297 every 4 weeks. But you can try it out for 30 days risk-free. If you're not entirely happy, we'll give you 100% of your money back, and we would love to see you on the inside. With that, happy Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next week.